A warm welcome for Jennifer Delgado.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. As I said, I'm actually really nervous to be here. I'm pretty shy, so I don't really like to talk about myself. But as my friend just introduced me, somehow I became the commencement speaker for Capital Technologies University. So I got a speech, I got to get through it. And you know, when they called me, Elliot called me, he's like, hey, will you be the commencement speaker? And I was like, did you call the right Jennifer? And I was like, are all the astronauts in space? What's going on? Am I the only warm body around? And apparently I am, but no. So I'm very happy to be here, and right now you are stuck with me. So yes, he told you a little bit about myself. You know, I'm a crazy dog mom. I'm a meteorologist at Fox 5, but I know you guys probably don't watch the news, but your parents do and your grandparents do. They have a TV at home. I know you guys do all of it on your phone, you know. So, and of course, I am a cancer survivor, so I have a form of blood cancer, but I like to support, thank you. I like to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. These are all things that became near and dear to me. And I say these things because I really I always felt like I couldn't accomplish a lot, but apparently I have beat everything, so don't count yourself out. So since I got this invitation, it really got me thinking about myself. My education, my career, my family, role models, and how I ended up as a STEM role model. And to be honest, I struggled in school. You look at me and you think, okay, Jennifer, you look like you got your stuff together. I mean, I can fake it, you know, but I did get it together. But I always suffered from anxiety. Like right now, I feel it kicking in. And I'm sure you guys are probably pretty anxious too, because you're going out to the workforce. And I don't know if anybody ever told you this, but after this, you're going to have to work 8 hours, and you're not going to be able to get a nap at work. So that is really hard. When I first graduated, I'm like, nobody told me this. Like, I would go in the bathroom at my job, and I'm like, I'll just chill out here for a few minutes. It's hard, because you can't get that nap in. But again, I suffered from anxiety and failing, and really just being different from all my other classmates. I went to a predominantly white school, and my mom was the only one who came to school in her hair rollers, and she would come up there and chew me out and drag me home. So, I felt like I was a little different back then. But, I think back to one time in high school math class, and we always had to go up on the chalkboard and do our math problem. You know how it is. You go up there, and I would sit at my desk, and I would be panicking, and I'd try to work out the number that I would have so I would be ready so I didn't look stupid, I didn't, mess up. And the whole time, I would just be sweating, almost near tears, to the point, I don't even know how I made it through the class. And now, fast forward 1,000 years later, I realize that that's literally what I do for a living. So I conquered my fear because now that I'm a meteorologist, I talk about temperatures in front of a different chalkboard. It's, a TV screen. So, so it's just a bigger form. My point is, I conquered my fear, and I came full circle. So how did I become a STEM girl? It really shouldn't be a surprise to me, given my genetics. My dad was a chemist, and my mom was the smartest registered nurse you'd ever meet. This is the same mom who would come in her hair rollers and chew me out all the time. She's going to be really mad if she sees that speech, too. But my parents told me I had to be smarter than everyone else. And they taught me everything. They taught me about the Coriolis force, and I know you guys all know about that. But being smart was easy for them, but it was really intimidating for me. I wasn't even really sure I wanted to go to college. In fact, I told my parents once I graduated, I'm like, I think I want to go to Europe and just kind of chill out and kind of find myself, but they were controlling. And so they laughed at me and they said, you're going to college. So I did what they said. My mom's Cuban, my parents tell me what to do. We do it till we're 30, even still now. But honestly, I was really scared of college. As I said, I was intimidated, and I didn't think I would flourish in a large university. How would I be able to keep up with all the other students? How would I finish a thesis statement, much less do calculus, once again on that chalkboard in front of all my peers? Well, I ended up graduating with a degree in communications from a small liberal arts college, much like Capital Technology University. And it turned out my parents were right, and it was the best thing for me because I graduated. But I actually didn't feel complete. I go back to the times where I come home from work and I spent some time like just doing different jobs. I started substitute teaching and I worked at Banana Republic for a little while. But that worked out for me because I was able to buy clothes for my first real TV job. And you'll see why that's important in just a few seconds. But, you know, I really, really wanted to be a meteorologist, but I was totally scared of the math and I wouldn't be able to finish it. But I grew up in Missouri and we always had really big weather there. We had flooding, tornadoes, we had real snow over there too, more than like an inch that we had this past year. But remember, you know, we all have to overcome our fear, and I decided to do that. And eventually I earned my meteorology degree from Mississippi State University. You know, there were times that I wanted to quit. Every semester during finals, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pass. I'm going to quit. But I kept passing. So I would always psych myself up. And I had a girlfriend, and she would always say, you know what, Jennifer, you're on the right path. You keep going. Don't let this, you know, freak you out and, you know, discourage you. But I did pretty well. And I actually passed thermodynamics 1 and 2. So I feel like I accomplished a lot with that one. It was rough, but I did it. So, you know, I focused on that one goal, and once I graduated, I started off in a small market. That's what you have to do in TV. So that's one good thing about what you guys are doing if you don't do TV, because you'll listen to this. So this was in 2008, way back then. I was making $17,500. That was my salary after I already had all those bills for college. And so, but I was one of the higher paid ones because I had a meteorology degree. So if I didn't have a meteorology degree, I was going to make $14,500. Shocking. Can you believe that? I called my parents a lot for money. But, you know, me being the big earner there at that time, because there weren't a lot of people like me on TV with meteorology degrees, you know, I really focused on myself. I built a little personality, and I quickly moved up, and I eventually ended up at CNN, and I made more than $17,500. Thank God. But, you know, that's about me. That's my story, and that's how I got to where I'm here now. After that, I made a couple more stops. I went to the Weather Channel, then cancer came along, bone marrow transplant, and then I ended up here at Fox 5. I always say my boss, Paul here, he brought me back from the dead from career because I wasn't working because, A, I couldn't work for a while, then COVID happened, and very grateful to be here with you today and also here with Fox 5. Thank you. So, thank you. Well, that's enough about me. Let's talk about you future STEM leaders. STEM jobs are the most in demand. Capital Technology University has armed you with the knowledge and the experience. I know this year's graduates include bachelor's, master's, PhDs. You got engineering, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence. Well, we will be counting on you to fix our problems. You are now the experts to cultivate responsible and ethical AI, artificial intelligence, of course, and growing our space industry, and perhaps most importantly, protecting our environment from the rapid danger of climate change. And climate change is important to me, but it should really be important to every one of you, because each one of you has the power to shape and change our future. And speaking of climate, I hope that many of you going into STEM will devote your energies to the pursuit and helping create new technologies and solutions to the threat to our planet. So many say 2050 is that arbitrary date where we're supposed to have significant changes to mitigate and hopefully reverse climate change. Well, if you watch the news or digital stories or your phone, you've probably seen many different stories about all the climate change. We're experiencing more hurricanes, longer wildfire seasons to the west, and of course, stronger tornadoes. And this means a lot of people are suffering. Well, for 5 years in a row, we've had more than 20 billion weather and climate disasters in this country, and I've covered a lot of them. And it's not going to stop until we actually do something. It's not just here, but we have to do this globally as a whole. And we need you to create technologies and empower people, not just in this country, but all over the world. And there's so many different nationalities and backgrounds here, so we all need to take that and just kind of plant that seed everywhere to live, to embrace a cleaner and more sustainable energy if we don't make a difference on our planet soon. Capital is the only independent college in Maryland dedicated to engineering, computer science, information technology, and business. I never heard of it, but now it almost has me thinking about going back to school. Almost. You know, it really is an honor for Maryland to claim this university as also you as its newest alumni, but for us too to have Capital Technology here in Maryland. Hopefully you keep learning, and congratulations to all the graduates and what you've accomplished. I forecast a bright future to you all. Don't get mad at me about the weather for today, because by Monday it's going to be 90 degrees and really humid, so this is not bad. But don't worry, I'm tracking the rain right now on the radar. No, literally I am. I'll show you. See? So I know a lot of you graduates, you don't watch TV, but try to watch it tonight and on digital, because you guys will all be on there. And I want to thank you all for letting me talk to you for just a few minutes, but I'm sure you're all going to accomplish way more than me and everybody else out here behind me. All right, thank you.